Hi guys, welcome back. I've come back on to do some cards and bits to go with the stationery box we was making. So if you remember, done the inside, and then we also done the outside as well. I've still not got me little pads to go in these, so can't do that bit yet. But I've just started decorating the cards to go in these. At the moment, I've done two. Like that, and I will put a little bit more on them. They need to have a couple of little flowers and something on them, and I've still got these two to do. So I've quickly stamped and embossed my little sayings. One says thank you and the other one says thank you for being such a dear friend. Okay, so I've got those. I've got some paper to go on the cards, so what I'm going to do, I think we'll start with this one, and I've cut my pieces of paper out already, so they've got a nice border around the edges. I have been distressing the edges of these as well, because I don't want them to look all. I keep doing this over my table and then I get smothered in it. I should do it over here, and it goes on the floor, and then I can just take it after. Even though I've got a bin down here as well, so it doesn't really make sense, does it? But, I didn't want to put any like distressing ink or anything around the edges of these. I wanted to make them look a bit tattered around the edges. Again, I've decided to put the heating on because I went out shopping, came back in, and it was freezing in here, so I put the heating on, and now I'm sitting here getting really hot again. So just distressed around the edges of that. Okay, so I need to put this on here, and all I'm going to do is use a bit of double-sided tape around the edges, I think. Now, now I don't know if you ladies know what a standard size card is supposed to be, or whether it's different from here to international, or I don't know if each country has different sizes for standard cards. But I found the cards that fit in this box nicely should be 5.5 by 4.5. So if you cut it 5.5 deep and then just do it 9 that way, and then you can score it at 4.5 and just fold it in half. You know what I mean. Right, so we just need to plonk this down on here. Now's the fun of getting these off. Like so. So that's all stuck down nicely on there, and you've got your border around the edges. And then I want to get another piece to do the same sort of idea as that, just because they're all kind of in keeping then, and then it's not too much stress, you know, to try and think like, oh my god, what am I going to put on there? Or I think we'll use that side. So I'm just going to rip this up roughly. I don't really want a... There we go. So if we're going to put that one on there, and then that one will go nicely on there, like so. I'm just going to stick a bit of a foam tape on the back of this, I think, so it's more kind of 3D, like so. And take the back off of that. And I'm just going to place that on there, like so. And then I'm going to use this one that says, "Thank you for being such a dear friend." And I'm going to distress around the edges of this quickly as well. I thought it'd be easier to emboss first, just make sure you don't kind of like muck it all up with your fingers. But otherwise you're trying to get a stamp and bits on like a screwed up card type thing. It doesn't seem to go too well. So if you're going to stamp your pieces, stamp them first and then distress them or whatever you're going to do with them. Okay, and again I'm just going to stick a couple of little bits of foam tape on this so it stands out nicely. Take the back off of them. Okay, let's set that there. Okay, so we have that. And then I need to do this one as well. So we're going with that. Or yeah, it'll have to be that one. Entirely up to you how you want to decorate your cards. But I thought I'd just come on quickly, and as I've done the box with you ladies, I thought we could just do a couple of cards together. The same idea with your 3x3 cards. Remember, just cut a strip that's 6 long by 3 deep, and then score it at 3 and fold it in half. So you've got your 3x3 little cards as well. Getting rather a mess. Right, that's done on there. If you've got all your bits done and ready, sort of cut out, and you've got a rough idea of what you're doing, you can put like your pieces of card over there, your stamped bits there, your embossed bits there, etc, etc. Then you can go through them quite quickly. It's amazing how quick you can do it once you've already done like the hard work as such to yeah, do all your bits and pieces and put it in piles around you, and then it's just like a, you know, like you get in the factory as it goes along the line. One person does that and then the next person does that, and you can do that yourself just by having little piles around the edge of your table, and it's so much quicker. Right, just give these a put down, and that's going to go on there like so. You don't even have to have these cards round this way. You can do them so they stand up kind of that way as well, if you prefer to do them that way. There's no real preference, you know, do them how you like them. That's what I say. They don't have to be perfect, don't have to be done in a certain way. It's the idea of crafting, isn't it? Have a play, have a mess around and see what you come up with and what you like and what you don't like, etc. I'd like quite a flowery piece on there, I think. So what have I got here in the way of flowery bits? That's quite a nice bit. Oh, there we go. There's a piece. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Take that off there. Put that down there. And then so tear the edges off of them there. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Or you can even have them across that way and have a little bit hanging off the edge of the card. Or, you know, just do with them how you feel, really. Your choice. Again, I'm just going to put a bit of foam tape on the back of mine. Take the back off of there. and stick that on like so. And then I'm going to take this piece, I'll put it there. It's quite nice out there this morning. I went out shopping. I spent all day sitting in here yesterday, and it was like, oh my god, it's so dull and horrible, and it had been raining all day and just wasn't nice at all. And yeah, the rain stayed with us all day, so it was quite manky yesterday. I went out this morning and I thought, oh, it's actually quite nice and bright out here, but it's just gone very dark and it started raining again. So I spoke too soon. I think I jinxed everybody. Sorry about that, guys, if you're on the way out the door. Hey ho, typical weather, eh? What can you do? Again, I think I'll that one just there, like so. Give that a push down. Right, so now I've got my 4 cards. Let's just quickly get some of this rubbish out of the way. As we take, I'll leave all these bits over here because they're handy to sort of rip up and use on your cards and things. Sorry, my mobile going off over there. Right, so we have now got our 4 cards, okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so if I kind of move them over here a little bit so you can see them a bit better. Does it help if I move my camera over that side a bit? There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Right, and then all I thought was I was going to take some bits of paper, just your little cut off bits, you know, that you've just ripped out from, and just make a couple of little flowers to go on there. Probably stick a flack back in it. A flack back? God, can't even talk in English now. I've got some little die cut pieces here. It was just a few that I cut out the other day that I was playing with. So I'll probably use one of them. Yeah, so we're just going to stick some flowers on and get me mat and my little tool. So let's have a play, shall we? See what we can do. It's a nice piece here with some roses on. Right. Here's a couple of them. I think that piece has had it. They've got little spotty ones on. Let's have a look. That's a plain piece. There's another piece here. It's got some nice pretty pink on from the flowers. I'll take a couple from there as well, I think. Get rid of that up there. Right, so I'm just going to put these onto my mat, like so. You can, yeah, you can see that, can't you? Just shape your flowers. If you've got the time and the patience, your flowers also look very nice if you just quickly brush around the edges of them with some ink. Again, it just takes off that nasty white of the card, and yeah, just adds to the effect. As I said, anything you make is, you know, add that little extra. It's the little extras that make it what it is. I think it's always worthwhile, you know, when you've got something you really like and you think, God, I've put so much time and effort into that and I'm really chuffed with that, you know. But then sometimes it's hard to know when to stop as well, because you have to kind of think like, oh, okay, I like that, but what if I do that, and what if I do that, and, you know, but sometimes it's not worth it. I also have some of this here, so I don't know whether or not to kind of put a piece of this on. I put that on there like that. Scissors, cut it off. And just fan that out a little bit. Maybe. No, done that completely wrong then, didn't I? No, it's not. I bought it because I thought it might be okay with these cards, but it's not. It's not the stiff type of string that I like. It's very soft, so it's going to be awkward to play with at the moment when we haven't really got the time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take one of these flowers. Obviously you can't put too much on these cards, just simply because they all need to fit inside the box. But I do like to add just, you know, one or two little bits just to jazz it up a little bit, which I think gives it a nice effect. A little bit of glue on the back of the flowers. And sometimes you put pieces of paper and stuff together like this, and you kind of look at it and you think, oh my god, it just looks like, you know, a kid's gone mad and just stuck pieces of paper together. But it's when you start adding bits to it that makes it kind of what it is. Scissors. I'm just going to take a couple of these leaves. I'm going to try these. Sorry, let's just poke these bits out because they've not all come out properly. Okay. So you could have one coming out the side there. Just put a little bit of glue on the edge of the leaf there, and I'm just going to tuck that in there underneath that flower. Okay, and then do the same with these ones too. Poke all the bits out of my leaves. That bit doesn't want to come out. Typical, isn't it? Always when you're trying to do something. I'll put that one in there. Let's tuck that up in there. Oh, no, don't pick it up. I want to push it down, not pick it up. What are you doing on there? That's it. Okay, we'll put that bit underneath there then, because you don't want to go on there, do you? Doesn't want to play. It doesn't want to play at all today, does it? I don't think. And now it's kind of dried all its glue. Right, let's stick you in there, like so. That's better. And then we'll take, ones are a little bit small, I think. What I could do, I could use the whole 3 together, like so. Again, just these bits and pieces, these die cuts do look so pretty when they're on there. but they just take forever. And I do have a brush thing, you know, to lay it on your mat and sort of poke all the bits out, but it doesn't ever seem to work for me. You're still left with bits in there that you have to sit and poke out, and so I kind of have a tendency now to, if I know that I'm doing like a few cards all together, then I'll sit and die cut them all and just sit for half hour and like pick all the bits out first. That one for some reason is not cut properly, so I'm just going to cut that one off of there. And then I'm going to use both of them because they're smaller leaves. And just plump them in there under that flower, like so. And then I've got another big one here. If I cut them off, I'll use the two of them like that. Put that back in there out of the way. Put a bit of glue on them. And again, I'm just going to tuck them in there like so. Put another dab of glue on that, the flower's coming off. Like so. And then I think I might get some little gems. I think ones will do. Let's get a couple of these. And I'm just going to plop a bit of glue in the middle of each of these flowers and stick a flat back pearl. I think I said gems, didn't I? Stick a flat back pearl in the centre of each flower, and it just makes it pop. You know, it doesn't just look like, oh, look, bits of paper are stuck on there, and you know, have to kind of go that extra bit. And I sat here for so long before them sticky, you kind of get them and they all sort of come up and curl round, and they're sticky on a sheet of like the tiny little pearls. And I don't buy them because I think they're well too expensive. So I sit here and I will draw where I want the curls to go, and then I will painstakingly sit there and glue and put them all on myself. But as I said, it depends on how much you want to do, so and how far you're willing to go to make that, whatever you're making, look that extra bit special. Everyone's got different ideas. Right, that's that. Okay, and then I might look at that and think, it could do with a little something else on there. So what I have over here is I'll kind of go to my pearls. I've got a white one somewhere as well. I don't know where that's gone. And I'm just going to take this, the pearls, and I'm just going to put a couple of little dots around the thank you signs, just randomly. This pink one actually is really, really thick and gloopy. Just a few little dots. Like so. And there you have it. It's your 4 cards. There's that one. And then there's that one. That one. And that one. Okay, so I've not put anything inside. I don't know if you have any stamps or anything, you know, that you might want to, that you use for the inside of cards, or little sayings that I know you can find on Google and things. If you put in what you're looking for, like a thank you, sentiments, things like that. If you go onto Google and put that in, and then go to images, and it'll bring up a list of all different sayings and things, and you can put them on your computer, and then print them out and like stick them in the middle of your cards. That's an idea that you can also do, which is good when, you know, you're looking for that something and you think, oh my god, if only I had that stamp that said so and so, or, you know, and I should have bought that when I was out last, but you never do. Right, so I need to now move these to one side. Bear with me a second, because I'm going to put them over here on top of my printer, so that pearl can dry off on there. And then, and then we have a little 3x3s. So I've just cut out 4 of them. I have cut out pieces of paper. How I'm going to do them, I haven't got a clue. I think I have actually layered these in size so they just kind of fit inside each other. Yeah, they are, even though that one's not folded very nicely. Where's my bone folder? Don't know what happened to that one. That's better. Like so. And I just flicked my pieces of paper over here as well, didn't I? I thought I might. But these may be a case, because they're tiny and you can't really do too much with them. I might just stick the pieces of paper down like so, and just go around the edges of them with my marker, and then just stamp like a thank you or something onto the top of them, just so they're kind of, you know, simple but elegant. As I said, you don't really need too much on there, because you're going to be needing to make your own envelopes as well. So yeah, it can be a bit awkward and a bit tight fitting into the box. So if you can try and do them with less on it, then that's nice. I like that one. It's very faint, that one. I don't know if you can see that, but that has got a rose printed on there with like some white writing printed in the background with a, looks like crackle paint on it. That's 3. Should we have a, yeah, let's do a dark one as well. Again, just go around the edges there. Like so. Stamp first before you stick them on your cards, because if your stamp goes wrong, or, you know, slightly out of place, then you'll be cussing yourself, because you'll be like, oh my god, I've just stuck that down, now I've got to cut another piece of card. And so remember to do your stamping first, guys. I've lost mine. Oh no, there it is. It disappeared on me. So again, I'm just going to do the same with these. I think I'm going to use that. Thank you for being such a dear friend. Use that one. I need my black ink. I'll show you these stamps in a minute. I don't ever pay loads and loads of money for my stamps. I really don't see the point. I get all mine on eBay, reasonably cheap and cheerful. and they've always done me. They always come out really nice. So there we go. That's one. I'll do that one on here as well. Let's place that around that way. Will that fit? Yeah, let's do it in that corner. Slight angle. Print that now. Like that. I think we might use this one on all of them actually. I don't know. What else we got in here? Kindness together. Friends don't let friends eat dessert alone. I can't even imagine a better friend than you. Yeah, it's just got bits and pieces on like that. But if you go on to eBay and type in the search bar sentiments clear stamps, you know, for birthdays or Christmas or, you know, just friends. Yeah, and I think the most I've paid for a set of stamps, I just actually bought these 3 to do my Christmas cards with because I didn't have any. Where's the other one gone? No, that's them too. I just bought off of a lady on eBay 3 sets of Kaiser Craft Christmas stamps, all sentiments on there, and they're supposed to be $6.99 per pack, and I bought the 3 for £7. So that's why I don't go onto special sites and pay out lots of money. And there are loads of ladies on there. Always keep your eye out, because there's loads of ladies on there that you know, they just have clear outs. They've got a load of new stamps and things in, and they think, right, well, I don't really want to keep all this, so I'm going to get rid of some on eBay. And they're perfectly good stamps, you know, but they just don't want them anymore, so they sell them all cheap. Some of them sell them in big bundles, and you can do you know, they start the bidding at 99p, so you might get them for like £1.50 or something like that. So it's always worthwhile going and having a look. So I'm happy with these ones at the moment. So I'm going to stick these down, and then I will decide after if I want anything else on them. Oh, round the right way, Donna. Might help, eh? Stick that on there like so. Give that a quick push down. That's one. Oh, my arms and hands are a bit sore today. Trying to get that glue out of there is not funny. Now, just mind before you glue and stick down that your ink's actually dry, because if it's not, then you're going to smudge it everywhere. Number 3, and the last one. Oh, stick it straight down, it might help. And there we go. So we have 4 little 3x3 cards. I put the same stamp on all of them because I think the papers are pretty enough on these tiny little cards. I don't think they need anything else on them. You could do, if you wanted to, you could put like a little flower there or something. if that's what you prefer, or even just stamp a flower thingy around the edge there, a little corner flower thingy to jazz it up a little bit if you think they're plain and boring. But if you've got a lovely paper like this, I mean, how can you, you know, look, I think they speak for themselves, really. I think they're gorgeous little cards, and the paper's kind of like bling out anyway. So just put a little stamp on it, and they're very plain and pretty as they are. So I think too much on them would be too much, and then you're not going to fit them in their envelopes and things properly anyway. The bigger ones are okay because, you know, the envelopes are slightly bigger, but the little ones are a little squeeze. So and then for the tags, I've actually used pieces of this paper. Some of them are patterned on the other side. Well, obviously they're patterned on the other side. Prima paper is always patterned both sides. Some are clear enough that, you know, if they're wrote on, then the writing will be seen. So just check what you're doing with them. I've got this Stampin' Up! Tag top cutter that a dear friend of mine, Annie, bought me. I don't know if it was my birthday or Christmas one year, but she bought me this, bless her heart. It was really unexpected as well. She knew that I wanted it, and it was actually sort of going out of stock, and it was going to be discontinued. They wasn't going to do it anymore. So bless her heart, she bought it for me before it disappeared for good. And they just stamp, cut out the top like that. You can do them anyhow. This one's plain on the back, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Again, you can stamp on the front of your, that one's a bit busy on that side. So is that one's okay. These ones I've done 2 wide. They need to be 2 inches wide to go in this stamp, that's why. They're 2 inches wide, and I've done them by 3.5 long, just so I can cut the tops into shape. And again, you can just stamp on the front of it, you know, a to, a from, or you can put a thank you stamp on the front of it. Anything really. Just, yeah, again, just have a play, you know. See what you prefer on it, what you would like. How many of these have I got here now then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 there, so I think that's plenty. So you've got 4 cards, 4 greeting cards, your 4 3x3 cards. I've got 6 tags there, and then I just need to make the envelopes. But I will let you go for now, and I will come back and make some envelopes with you, just because we need a specific size. So I'm going to check the measurements, and then I'll come back, and yeah, we'll have a go with them. Perhaps decorate the front of the envelopes as well, just in the corners or etc., where they're not going to be in the way of you writing and putting a stamp on. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hope that give you a bit of inspiration. Have fun with it, and let me know what you create. Love to you all. See you again soon. Bye.